But even after saying it was all over, it's not like the building exploded or collapsed in on itself or anything. That wasn't the kind of ending waiting for us. Nothing changed. Well, with one exception. The air purifiers turned off. Just like Junko said. They shut off immediately. That was the only difference.
Danganronpa.
We left the courtroom and made our way to the main hall. We stood in front of the door. Nobody made a sound. I almost felt absent-minded. This was our epilogue before the final ending. We were stuck there in limbo, unmoving, unsure. But, in the end...
Hey.
We can't just stand around like this forever. At some point we need to leave. To nobody's surprise, it was Kyoko who broke the silence. Makoto, would you do the honors? As if awoken by Kyoko's words, I took out the object we'd gotten. Up until the moment of her death, it had belonged to Junko. And in the end, she dropped it before us.
So,
But is that really it? Is that really the key to the door?
Indeed.
You don't have to read into what she said too much to find the answer.
If, on the other hand, you desire to see us punished, then you must all leave this place.
I will force you out, ensuring you all die horrible deaths in the outside world.
In other words...
I will force you out, she said that, just before dropping that. It makes sense that it would be our way out of here. But you never know. Maybe it's actually a switch that's gonna make the school self-destruct. I mean, Junko never said specifically that she'd let us leave here alive.
It's true.
You may be right about that. Maybe?
Yes.
But even so, it's impossible to think we wouldn't take our chances with it. Yeah, I guess that's true. There's nothing to worry about. If something ever happened to Master, I'd take my scissors and jam them up so far up. Hey, where's the courtroom? Where's the mastermind? It's all over. We're just about to leave the school. What? Leave? We can go outside? Then that means me and Master can get married? Then he'll give me a little jewel of a baby?
That's enough.
Please stop. That would be a greater horror than anything I've encountered so far. Anyway, don't worry. I have no doubt that we'll be able to leave here without a problem.
but...
It's what happens after we get out that I'm worried about. But you know, in the end, I think part of me still thinks...
Serious?
Maybe when we get out of there, we'll see that everything she said about the world was a lie. That on the other side of this door is a world as peaceful as we remember. A lie, peaceful as we remember. Well, no matter what it looks like, it's still our world. It's where we're meant to live. Yeah, I guess so. And how do I put this? Unlike this school, the world is really big, right? Since it's so big, I'm sure there must be some despair no matter what. But there also has to be lots of hope, right?
In other words...
The act of searching for hope, to try and find it, that by itself is the true meaning of hope. As long as you have that hope, you can keep moving forward no matter what trouble you may fall into.
Am I wrong?
Is that what you mean, Makoto? Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I don't need any of you to spell that out for me. You know, Junko mentioned that there were still others out there who hadn't cast away hope just yet. Maybe I should find them and make them work for me. To rebuild the world, we must first rebuild the Togami dynasty. I'll go with you. I'll follow you anywhere you want to go.
You got it!
Well, my first stop is going to be the closest donut shop. I can figure out the rest from there.
Hey.
And what are you going to do if there are no more donut shops or donuts?
Okay.
I'll just get some flour and make some myself. And if there's no flour, I'll just grow some wheat. Ah, I get it now. If there's no road, you just gotta rebuild. You just gotta build one. Creation. Fate is telling me to remake the world. That's my hope.
How about that?
I've reached the next stage, the next chapter of Yasuhiro Hagakura's life story is about to begin. Thanks, Hina. You totally opened my eyes. Hey, personal space, buddy. You're seriously creeping me out.
Makoto.
Come on, Makoto. Even if everyone in the outside world is gone, even if the world is steeped in despair. As long as I have people like you around, I can face forward and keep moving. If we can get out there and do something, we have some sort of impact. But what can we do? There's so few of us, and we're so small, so what can we do? No, we can probably do anything. Yeah, we can do anything.
Well, I guess this is goodbye. And goodbye to Sakura. But hey, if we gotta say goodbye, we may as well do it with a smile on our face.
Hey guys! You guys want your fortunes told anywhere, anytime. You just let me know. I'll be there.
You know how much I hate being annoyed, but if something does come up, you may as well let me know. I can't guarantee I'll actually bother listening, but, you know.
I don't know why, but I have a burning desire to start writing. I might be able to pull it off. A story about Master and me, and the others, I guess.
I can't say I'm sorry about what happened, but still, it does feel kind of strange.
I really don't know what to say. I guess we graduated?
It looks like hope really is spreading. As long as I never give up, I have to push even harder. I'm going to keep moving forward with hope in my heart. Since I have hope, I can show courage. Since I have hope, I can move ahead. The world can move ahead. The door began to open. With my hands, with our hands, hope and despair mingled together, opening the door to the future.
Interesting. Things are getting very interesting indeed. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not a teddy bear. I am Monokuma. And I am this school's headmaster.
And that concludes Danganronpa for the PC. So as I said in the beginning of the playthrough, this is definitely a game that is outside of my comfort zone of games that I usually LP on this channel. Most people know me for Mario and Pokemon content, and now I just tried out something that is completely new to me. And honestly, I've had a lot of fun. This has been the most fun I've had in a blind LP. It's been a while since I've done blind LPs, and I haven't really done very many because usually anytime I've done blind LPs of games that I've never played before, the criticism is kind of low, where people used to pretty much talk very low of my gameplay in a blind LP, which I understand where people come from when they say that, because blind LP, you don't know what you're doing and you've never played it before. But the criticism I've had with this game has been really amazing. You guys have provided me some awesome feedback and some awesome tips, and I really do appreciate it. And it allowed me to really enjoy this game. I really like the story, the pacing, and as well as the music. The music does a really good job at fitting the atmosphere of every situation, which is really cool. And I like most of the characters too. Most of the characters have personality in them. Well, I didn't like some of them, just because if I was in the perspective of some other characters, I probably wouldn't like them. But I really liked all the characters, especially Sayaka. So what I thought about this game, with this kind of game being like completely new to me, I've always been a fan of mystery. I've watched mysteries, like my favorite type of show to watch when I'm watching anime shows. I see this type of stuff on movies as well, and I always like those because they always build suspense, especially like in those shows where they end on some episodes end on a cliffhanger, and then you just wonder like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Like I just want to know, and then you just start speculating. Mystery is all about like making speculations. I've always thought that type of stuff was really fun to me, and trying this game out and experiencing this stuff for the first time, I didn't actually think that it would be a lot more complicated than I had anticipated it to be, especially in the first trial when Sayaka died. I did not know what I was getting myself into when I had to investigate who was behind, Sayaka's death. And, when I look back at it now, I know that, these cases are actually a lot easier than I made them out to be. But, of course, in the first couple of trials, I was getting all the simple answers wrong, because it doesn't come to my mind that I had to kind of think of every single situation instead of focusing on what's actually logical in my head. Of course, as I got further into the game, I started to get more used to this kind of thing, and as you just saw in the second half of the game, where we were doing the trials at those points, I was starting to get less lost with myself, and started figuring out things more quickly than the beginning. So that's where things started to get a little bit more smooth. And then of course we got this very last trial that we just went through, which was like the most complicated that we've ever seen. Even though some of these trials I got pretty frustrated, when I think back at them, I think the trials were pretty fun, especially trying to, like, when you talk about it with the classmates, and then the more you talk about it, more information comes up, and then you kind of put the pieces together, and then you finally figure out the entire situation on what actually happened. That stuff was pretty fun, and I apologize throughout all the trials that I didn't talk much throughout the trials, mainly because in the trials the people are talking and I try not to talk over the narrations of the characters just so you guys can hear them, in case anybody is watching, you know, the playthrough blind along with me. Then, you know, I should not, like, you know, talk over the people's dialogues. I hope that you guys enjoyed the playthrough. Like I said, it was definitely really different. I wasn't sure how many people would be interested in watching this kind of content. Honestly, like the feedback that I got throughout the playthrough really blew my mind. So thank you guys so much for all the feedback and all the tips that you guys had left me through comments, through messages, and through anywhere else about that I have received that type of stuff about the LP. And so now the question becomes, will I ever LP Danganronpa 2 V3 and as well as the spin-off series? And the answer is definitely yes. I really enjoyed this game, which means that there's a reason for me not to LP the other games as well. Especially since I have already, as I am recording this, I have already purchased the other games in its series, so I will definitely be taking a look at those games in the future. Because this game was really amazing, I am going to give it a 9 out of 10. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next playthrough.